So I'm going to be starting a new little series for all of you, talking about some tips that I have for entering a new grade, starting with today's video on middle school. It has been a while since I was in middle school, but I know that there were a lot of things that I could have done to make it a better experience for myself, so I want to share those tips that I have with you. Within the next few weeks though, I will be doing a video for each grade, all the way up to a senior in college, so stay tuned for that and make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss a video. So let's get started, and I hope you enjoy this video. So tip number one, it is so easy to look at middle school as just this in-between part of your education, kind of like in no man's land, I guess. But in reality, the classes that you are taking and then they're having you take are actually setting you up for success in high school. So take this time in your education seriously. I know for myself, if you excelled in a certain class at my middle school, for instance, math, you were then placed into a higher class once you got into high school. So a lot of kids that excelled in math in middle school were then placed straight into geometry once they hit 9th grade, instead of going algebra 1, geometry, and then so they got to skip a whole year of math in high school. So that's cool. So definitely take this time in your life seriously, especially, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to take education seriously because it's awesome, but definitely try and apply yourself. This is a great time to really figure out who you are as a student so that once high school comes around and college comes around, you've got this thing. Tip number 2, woo! This is a great time to explore all of the different electives that middle school has to offer, whether it be ASB, choir, drama, yearbook, any of those, plus some. I was a part of ASB in middle school, and it was definitely a great experience because I was able to figure out who I was as a person and what I love to do. I did a lot of the photography, the video work, and morning announcements, so anything technology, I did that for ASB, and I figured out that is what I absolutely love to do, and here I am how many years later, and I now have a career in it. So hey, definitely explore all those electives because you never know what you're gonna find about yourself. So number 3 is don't get caught up in the social side of things. Let me be more specific. Don't get caught up in all the drama that seems to always be in middle school. I don't know what it is, but friends are great, and you should definitely set aside time to hang out with your friends and have downtime from school, but don't get too sucked in and forget what's actually important in life. For myself, I had a really hard time with this. In 8th grade, I was part of a big group of friends that consisted mostly of girls. We did huge sleepovers, went to the movies, went to the mall, and I sort of lost sight of what was actually important. I ended up being, I guess, exiled from the group for telling the truth in a situation that we had all gotten ourselves into. From that day on, I was bullied in and out of school. I received multiple threats online back when MySpace and AOL was popular. My point is that we all go through things like this, but at the end of the day, education is first. Always remember that. And the people that are trying to make your life miserable are usually the ones that are miserable themselves. They usually are going to target those that they see as happy or successful in some way, so just remember that. Tip number 4 sort of coincides with what I was just talking about, but try not to get caught up with wanting a boyfriend or a girlfriend at this time in your life. I promise, it's just more stress than you need. You'll probably see a lot of your friends kind of heading in that direction, but it's a really great time just to focus on yourself and figure out who you are and what you love to do, and eventually it will all fall into place and you'll be able to have that type of relationship. So just stick to crushes for now. I promise. Even relationships at my age are like, what? No, stressful. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Why? Why, Kyle? Why? Tip number 5. If you question, a problem with a class, or miss some sort of schoolwork, try and make it a point to talk to your teacher yourself instead of relying on your parents, because at this point in our lives, our parents really want to help us a lot still, but that's not always how it's gonna be. It could be, but you don't want it to be that way. It's not a pretty look to have your parents doing everything for you, so why not start in middle school with something small, like talking to your teacher, instead of relying on your parents to do that. Plus, your teacher will see you as really mature, and you'll just feel super responsible, so it's a win-win. Come on. So those are just 5 tips that I have to how to handle middle school. I didn't want to make this video too long because there is a list that could go on and on forever. So if you have something that you want to share, please leave it down in the comments below. I would love to read it, and I'm sure others would love to read them as well. So don't be afraid to do that. But I will see you all next week. I will be diving in to high school and giving you some tips about 9th grade. So look for that and make sure you subscribe. So I will see you next week.